Hey guys, it's Julia, and today I have a weird dream to share with you all. Basically, the gist of the dream was that you were all orphans, and it was very similar to the concept of Never Let Me Go, the 2010 movie that stars Carey Mulligan and Andrew Garfield, but there was no organ donations. In its place, however, was a really awkward rave. We were basically in an alternate universe where we were still friends, but there were a few key things that were different about each of us and about the society that we lived in. Um, Although David and I ended up being normal, like how we are in real life, with our actual family and stuff, Jennifer, Danny, and Thomas, you guys are all orphans, and you guys are raised in a top notch state run facility. But despite the quality of the facility, it wasn't a fun place, and the orphans had chores and strict rules about behavior and dress that they had to stick to. Somehow, you guys still managed to retain your personalities, so good job. and yeah, I'm not sure how we all met, given the circumstances. Like, orphans weren't really approved of in the normal world of families. But we did meet and we became friends. And David and I were eventually invited to this dance rave thing the facility was hosting. And it was a fundraising event. And it was also an event where the orphans would come out and like become acclimated to the real world. So like dances happen in real life. So they can become familiar with dancing it. So I was on my way to the event and I was already at the facility, but I got lost there and I somehow ended upstairs in the ward for young children. And I noticed that they were very sad and there wasn't enough attention given to them. Like, they didn't get the love or support that they needed. And it was really depressing, but I knew I had to get out of there because I would get in trouble if the people from the facility knew that I was there. And so I quickly went downstairs, and the event was basically two large chambers, like two large cafeterias, and you would have to go in through the first one to get to the second one where the dance floor was. So we all met up in the first chamber. It was super weird because, like I said, it was like a large cafeteria, but there were just rows and rows of bookshelves filled with shoes, and they were like 3 feet tall, not like big 6 foot tall bookshelves that you normally see at the library, but yeah, about 3 feet tall. And each of the shelves were filled with shoes, and these shoes were free for the orphans to change, like free for the orphans to change their shoes for the dance. But all the orphans had a standard uniform, and it was gray and oatmeal colored. So it was kind of boring, but you guys could change your shoes. And then the shoes that were traded in and that the orphans were switching out, like all the assortment of shoes could be purchased by guests at a small price, and it was like a smaller part of the fundraising campaign. Um, yeah, mostly it was the ticket. And then, like, as we were walking through, David made a comment that I sort of remembered along the lines of, like, man, these shoes are so affordable, but they're not really creative or attractive, and they all look the same. This would totally kill my vibe if I bought a pair here. Which, I could imagine him saying that. So, as we walked to the second chamber, which was also a large cafeteria, I noticed students, like, around our age were basically giggling and mingling, and they acted as if it was like the most exciting event ever, which I guess it was because nothing really happened on that scale before at the facility. Um, but I just felt sort of sad because they were so naive and like that was how the real world was, like how these events are put on. And this fact was only reaffirmed when we finally reached the dance floor because I noticed that everything was brightly lit and the music was like a pleasant volume. And I don't know if you guys have been to like raves or but like even at a normal dance, the music is like really loud. So the voice inside my head was just like, this ain't no rave. What is this? but all around, people seemed to be enjoying themselves. I guess I wasn't the only one who couldn't come to terms with the situation though, because about 5 minutes after we were standing around, like, staring at other people dance, not dancing ourselves, the DJ had had enough too. He, like, all of a sudden, the music stopped. And he was on the mic and he was like, hey, I don't know what this is or why I was invited to be here tonight, but this is weird. And everyone just sort of stared at him flabbergasted as he like gathered up his stuff and like left the stage. And I could see like they were just thinking to themselves like, how's this wrong? Isn't this a normal dance event? And I took this opportunity to stare at the orphans. So once again, that was Jennifer, Danny, and Thomas. And you guys are also thinking the same thing, like, how is this wrong? And David and I were just there, and we knew what was wrong, but everyone else is just quiet. That's it, I guess. Thank you for listening to my weird rant, and I guess I'll be seeing you guys the next time I come home.